Hi, welcome to Game Day Barbecue. I'm your host, Kevin Shaw. And today on Game Day Barbecue, we're going to be doing pork chop sandwiches. You heard right, sandwiches. Because back in the day when our grandmothers used to make pork chops, we would always never eat it on the plate. We would always put it between two pieces of light bread, as we would call it in the country. But we're going to take that to a whole new level when we're making our pork chops. So we're going to tenderize them, going to use the 48 knives on them, going to season them really well, going to cook them on the grill with the bone. Then after they come off the grill, we're going to take the bone out. The pieces that are left over, we're going to skewer those and make pork chops bites out of them. Also, what we're going to do in today's show, we're going to have bacon wrapped jalapeno poppers, as well as homemade potato fries in wedge style. So stick around, you're not going to want to miss this, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to Game Day Barbecue. So, as you can see, we have our jalapeno bacon wrap poppers ready, seasoned. Also have my barbecue sauce. I'm not completely finished with this yet. We're going to add some other ingredients to it. Our pork loin chops, as you see, is a really nice cut. And what we're going to be doing to that to get it started, we're going to use the 48 knives on it. And we're going to mallet and beat it as well because we want those really nice and tenderized. So let's talk about some of the seasonings we're going to be using today. So this is pig ass rub. This is a Memphis style barbecue seasoning. I got this a while back and I really liked it. So we're going to use some of that on the pork chops today. And we're going to use some honey hog barbecue rub from Meat Church Barbecue. And last but not least, we're going to use some Carolina seasoning called Rub Some Butt. So let's get started. So let's use our 48 knives. And I didn't count it, but I'm sure that's what it is. So this is just penetrating all the way through the meat, right? So all the seasonings and the flavors and everything will be there. And then when we're actually biting on the meat, it is just pulled right apart, almost like a burger. And that's kind of how we're going to do these pork chops today. We're going to put them like in a burger fashion when we get finished with them. And it's going to be great. Great food for Game Day Barbecue as we get ready to watch some football. All right, so we're done with the 48. I'm going to beat it just a bit. I want to get these edges nice and tender. And as I said, once these go on the grill and get cooked with the bone, I'm going to cut the bone out, and some of the portions of the meat that I have left over, we're going to put those in skewers and make bites out of them. So, yeah, that's looking nice. And you can kind of see from the size of that what that would be like on a burger bun. So, we're going to put that on some nice all-in-one burger buns as well. Okay, so let's get some seasonings going. We're going to start first with pig ass rub. Yes, indeed. Hey, I don't know if you guys knew this, but I know you're watching the Game Day Barbecue on the Marvel Night Network, but we also have other shows on the Marvel Night Network. We haven't really premiered yet. We're going to premiere in January. But some of the other shows I think you guys would really like. We have one called Digging Deep, and that's with a good friend of mine and also the company VP named Keith Robinson, where we look at different things that happen in our community and across the world and put a spiritual lens on it, and try to get some educational thought behind what's going on in the world so obviously we can make better decisions. So that's going to be a really great show. For those of you who may be fans of anime, we also have Comet Ringo that's going to be coming out. My son is actually an artist, and he's doing a lot of artwork for that. We have voice actors that do some voice work for all of that. So I'm telling you, it's going to be some really, really great things and great shows that we have premiering in January. So if you haven't already, please like, share, subscribe, get notified, all that good stuff. Because I promise you want to get in on this on the Marvel Night Network on the ground floor. Because we're going nothing but up. All right, so now let me wash my hands really fast. And then we're going to go with some honey hog barbecue. And these are going to be pretty heavily seasoned, just so you can see it. And I'm kind of old school. I like to put my hands on my food. I always remember what my mother told me about being soul food, right? You put your soul and you put your essence into it. So I like to definitely touch my food. You won't see me with a lot of gloves a lot of times, but this is how I like to do my food. I like to have my hands in it. And something about it, I don't know, maybe it's spiritual. Maybe it's just love that's been poured into it as you do something of this nature. It just makes it all better, and seem like people can actually taste the difference that goes on with that. So, all right. So we have nothing left but to add some rib butter on there. You can kind of see how that seasoning is going in there, looking nice already. But we're going to have a lot more to come. So we'll be right back. All right, so now we have our pork chop seasons. Our poppers are ready. Now we're just gonna do a little bit extra stuff to our sauce. So I like to use Sweet Baby Ray's. So this is Sweet Baby Ray's honey, which is my norm. Gonna add some French's yellow mustard to it. So you guys can kind of see, what I do, because I don't really, show me actually putting these ingredients in and mixing them up. But and then obviously the Louisiana hot sauce. I love this. You see the size of bottles I normally buy, and the family loves Louisiana hot sauce, and we go through this pretty fast. So we're gonna add that, a nice amount, and all you do is mix that up. And normally what I do after I get through mixing up my barbecue sauce is to just cover it in foil and just let it sit until I'm ready for it. And then that's pretty much it. So when I finish mixing this up, we'll go put our pork chops on the grill, and we'll see you then. All right, welcome back. So now we got our jalapeno poppers on the grill. Now we're gonna put our pork chops on. Just put the poppers up on the top layer. That'll protect them a little bit more. We don't want to burn them. We want to make sure they cook the way they are supposed to. And we'll get these pork chops on. So right now my grill temp is 325 degrees. And so we're gonna get all these pork chops on. And then, my ladies and gentlemen, will be ready after they're all nice and done to bring on that sauce. I know everybody's ready for that. I am too. Go ahead and get a good look at that. So, as we get these chops going exactly how we want them in these poppers, hey man, it's going to be a great day. Come right back. Don't miss it. Game Day Barbecue. All right, so welcome back. Guess what time it is? We're going to check out what we got going on the grill. We should be right on time to get ready to put some of this sauce on, but let's make sure first. Yes, I think we can definitely start adding our sauce. So let's do that right now. And I think everybody out there knows the phrase that pays. And if you don't, it goes a little bit like this. Kevin, put on that sauce. Let's go in. Mm-hmm. Man, I'm telling you, there's something about this. As a man, to be able to go to the store and buy your slayed animal and cook it on a grill that was made through somebody's invention, so awesome. Ooh. Sauce them up. I got some cheese that's coming down from my poppers, getting on my meat. I don't think anybody's going to complain about that, though. I guess we'll see. I was just thinking about this old song I used to remember called When We're Gonna Get to the Good Part. We in the good part. And I can't wait to show you guys what this final spread is gonna look like. That's good. But we got to get this done first. We'll get everything prepped and we'll come back and show you the wrap up and what everything looks like. Come right back to Game Day Barbecue on the Marvel Night Network. All right, so welcome back to Game Day Barbecue. I hope that you enjoyed the time that we spent together today going over our barbecue menu. And as you can see, we had the pork chop bites that were cut off the bone when we made our sandwiches. We have homemade potato wedge fries, delicious. We also have our bacon wrapped jalapeno poppers, and the main course is the pork chop loin barbecue sandwiches. Like I said before, this is how we do things on Game Day Barbecue, and we really hope that you enjoyed our time together. Game Day Barbecue, Marvel Night Network. See you next week.